Oh my god, it's a Wednesday. I'm here with Eric. We're playing Halo. How's it going, Eric?
It's good. I'm excited to play some Halo. Well, watch you play Halo. I want to be clear. We've done this. Like, we've played Halo. I don't know if it's come out by this point. Probably not. But we've played some Halo and stuff. And you were, like, surprised that I had fun watching you guys play. This is how I hang out. Like,
yeah.
I genuinely have so much fun watching somebody play a video game. Not like in a Twitch TV type of way, but like when I go over to like a buddy's house and he's like, "Oh, I just got this game," I'm like, "Fucking put it on." I'm hanging. I love it. That's all I ever want to do.
And it's so funny you say that. That's sort of like what we're going for with Let's Play as a whole, which I feel like is the direction we found. But this is sort of a unique video. We're going to do a Q&A type thing as well as just talk about like the channel and how we feel about it, sort of directions we may want to take this. And it's a Wednesday, as you may have noticed, which is the thing that we would like to do at some point, be able to provide Wednesday videos as well as the Monday and Friday. And the Wednesday to not necessarily be a Let's Play, but be sort of anything we want it to be within a gaming context. Like, we kind of want to get weird on the Wednesday video.
Yeah, kind of like what this is. And I think it's really important because people are just going to be like, "Oh, just do it." And it's like, well, that's not really how this works. We can't just do it. We would love to put out video. I mean, we would love to put out videos every day. We'd love to put out a gaming video every day and not burn out, and put out a podcast every day and not burn out. I know that Jeff's dream for kFACE is to record and release something every single day, not have to wait a week to get back together, like all that kind of stuff. Like that's the thing that he would love to do. It's not just not feasible for us as human people, but also in a way where it takes time for like an editor to put stuff together. It takes time, like to even just to like, oh, well, you just have to sync audio tracks. It's like, yeah, you have to sync audio tracks, but then also you have to do a bunch of other stuff. Like it's not just the one thing. So again, we would love to do more of this, and I do hope we will. Why does it just say quick resume on your right-hand side? Do you see that?
Where?
You don't see that on your screen?
Oh no, that's like baked in. That's not good.
Wow, how weird. That shouldn't be there, right? There it goes.
Not for you.
No, it's gone now. It's gone now.
That fix it?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know what it was.
What a weird... I just click and drag the screen. That was so strange.
Well, here's the thing.
That's fucking crazy.
If you saw that, it means the editor left it in to prove my point. But if it's gone, you have no idea what's going on.
I don't know what's in the footage at this point.
Yeah, so what we want to do, hopefully, is get some more gameplay videos, not just for public, but for First also, where there's just more. Like, we want to do more. It's just a matter of time and trying not to burn out and repeat old mistakes of, like, get on this treadmill and just run as hard as you can. I think we're being a lot more mindful about it.
We definitely are. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't here. I didn't work for Achievement Hunter, but I feel like
we are probably the least qualified to make that declaration, but I agree.
Yeah. I just think that being more mindful about the way we're doing this stuff and why we're doing this stuff is, I think, important, because it's always going to be people suggesting, like, well, just start doing more. And it's like, it's not really how it works, but that's fine. Andrew, you got a bunch of questions from the community. So I'm going to read some of them off, and then we can kind of go through it. There's no length for like this video. We don't know if this is going to be 20 minutes or an hour. So whatever this ends up being, just know that we didn't go in anticipating that. This is from Porterific D.
What's going on with this guy? Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus. This is from Porterific D. The question is, can we play Halo?
I'm not sure. We'll have to evaluate. We'll get back to you on that one. No, absolutely. We've actually recorded. I don't know when this is going to release, but we've made like 3 or 4 videos in Halo.
Yeah, there have been a few Halo videos, but again, we're trying. I think that we're also the victim of our own sort of timing for this stuff.
Yes.
Because if we had started at the beginning of the year, I think we could have like figured out how much we were doing, how much it is to record, how much it is to edit, and sort of like adjusted from there. But we instead started at the end of the year going into like the holidays, and the amount of pre-recording that we were like afraid that we were going to have to do. Say you do like 3 videos a week, 4 videos a week, whatever. The amount of that would just be like abundant. So hopefully after the new year, we'll do more and you'll see more Halo.
Also, like, we recorded so many Let's Plays before we even figured out any level of this, of like, how many per week do we want to do? Also, just like, what is the feel of the channel? Like we talked about before, for me growing up, like, gaming was going to my best friend's house and sitting in his basement or like bedroom and playing stuff. Yeah. Like, he was a big PlayStation guy, I was more of an Xbox guy, so it was like a completely different library of games. But it was this really fun communal experience of just hanging out and not even necessarily playing, which is why we're doing like single player stuff and not just necessarily traditional, like everyone's playing type content. Yeah. It was just so much fun. It was a joy. And that's sort of what I connected with Achievement Hunter as a fan, was I felt like when watching it, I was hanging out with my friends in a very similar way.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
So it's, for me, trying to tap into those feelings of like, it may be a game that you personally don't care about, but the joy of being around people you like and experiencing it through their lens.
Oh yeah, and I think you've been really good about that, because just so people know, Andrew's like the showrunner for this Let's Play stuff. Andrew's like taken charge. He's handled, like, here's when I want to do it. He's working with Gracie and getting stuff like coordinated and everything. But really, it's like, we want to play this game. Hey, do you want to do this thing? Asking people what they want to do, kind of figuring that stuff out. And I feel like you've been really good about shooting sort of like a group text and going, hey, me and Gavin are going to play this at 4. If you guys have time, we'd love to have you there. And it's happened a couple of times where it's been like just offhand, where it's like, oh, damn, I do have like an hour in between stuff. And it works, and you just jump in, and it's fun to watch. And it's a blast. Yeah. It's so cool.
Oh, it's been so much fun. We did a Halo video with you that I think is a perfect, that's one of the first ones where it's like, wow, I think we've hit a tone or a feel here that we're going for. We did a RoboCop video that was also very much the same way, of like, that was just hanging out and doing something really dumb with your friends. And I think the more we can hit that tone is what I'm hoping for. We haven't had this happen yet, but also just like allowing, because everyone is so busy, the flexibility of like, I actually can't make that, but I can show up 45 minutes later, and I can just start it then when I do it.
And jumping in for like the last 20 minutes of something, we haven't had it yet. It's going to happen, and it's going to be funny. Like, I'm very excited for, like, having to hear, like, I just picture it's you and Jeff playing something, and then having to hear what Jeff has to say as a recap for whatever you've been doing for like the last 45 minutes is going to be funny. Very excited about it. Let's see. Gage Wilcox says, will we do Left 4 Dead achievements?
So that's actually surprisingly complicated. Like, obviously that'd be so much fun. I need to look more into this. From my understanding, there's no way to buy the DLC anymore for Left 4 Dead 1 or 2.
Wow, really?
Like, it is delisted. I don't know if there's a Game of the Year edition that comes with that stuff like pre-packaged, but then you're buying sealed games, which is probably going to be more expensive. So I would love to do that. It's just more of a strange feasibility thing that is specific to that game.
How weird.
Yeah, so strange.
I had no idea that. Why would they stop I don't understand why they would do that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't like the delisting of games in general is always like so weird to me, unless it's like a licensed thing. But like, it's Left 4 Dead. I don't know.
Yeah,
what would happen?
Yeah, what's the point? Right? Like
I guess Depeche Mode. I'm trying to think of like what other Depeche Mode's in Left 4 Dead 2, but they're not even in the DLC. I don't know what would cause that, but
how strange.
Yeah, I'd love to. It's just that's something that like we would need to investigate more. We just haven't done that yet.
No, we'll look into it and see, because I think it would be fun. I think
for sure. Yeah, I love those games. Did you ever play those?
Oh
like,
God, yeah. I had a.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, I love those. Those games were really fun. I had a girlfriend years ago who would play it like every night. She loved Left 4 Dead. And so, I don't know, she had like a group that she would play with and stuff, and it was like, oh, it was cool. Like, it was like,
that was me.
Super into it. Really cool. Just fun game.
That was like a big Rooster Teeth community game as well. Like, I was in that, and we had a regular group. There's still inside. There was one time we'd play like every night, and somebody accused somebody of smoker glitching in the game and got like genuinely really mad about it. And I will just think to myself, smoker glitch randomly to this day and laugh about it. He was so fucking mad. And the guy was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm playing with friends. I don't Like, I understand you think you saw something, but like, I wouldn't do that, first of all, and second of all, to like what end? Like, this is just a fun game.
Yeah, what's the point of like? Yeah, that's right. I win. Left 4 Dead? Who gives a fuck? What are you talking about?
I guess if I had to like compare it, it's sort of like being at a family dinner and somebody is super into conspiracy theory stuff and will not like let it get. He's like, I saw it. Don't try to lie to me. Okay, I saw you smoker glitch. I saw you do. It's like, relax.
Oh, man.
Everything's fine. But yeah, I'd love to play Left 4 Dead.
That's so
I love that game.
This question is from Henry Burgess. He says, do we have any genres that we prefer or avoid for Let's Play content?
So, like, that's, I think, an interesting question because there's no genre where I think we're like, Let's Play will never do this. But we are people and we have our own preferences as far as, like, what games we enjoy and play typically.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say there's no, like, blockage as far as, like, we will never play a top-down strategy game.
Right.
That's impossible. But, like, I don't play a lot of those games, so I don't see them naturally coming up all that often.
I mean, if we're able to play Tough Mudders or Rough Truckers or whatever the fuck Jeff's game is, like, if we're able to play that and there's a tutorial and it takes all like this practice and like all that, I think if we're able to do that, we could probably do anything. So like, I don't think there's a hard no on anything, but I think we have to be mindful about stuff that we enjoy and not just falling in the habit of going like, all right, let's make 100 Minecraft videos because like I don't want to fucking do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's the important thing to keep in mind. Let's see. How do you guys choose the games that you play? You plan on doing full playthroughs of things. How do you feel about the full playthrough stuff, Andrew?
I really enjoy, as somebody who's like a completionist when they play games, part of me wants to always do a full playthrough, but it doesn't necessarily make sense. It also feels weird, and this is just maybe, like, as you said, like, I'm leading a lot of this stuff, and I'm new to this world as a whole. I feel kind of weird doing a full playthrough immediately of a game that we get via, like, a code.
Yeah.
Like, that just feels strange to me, because they're, like, giving us access to this early, and we're not paying for it. And so it feels like, I don't know, doing a whole playthrough of that would be odd at the jump. But I think when it makes sense, like, we absolutely will do that.
I agree. I think when it makes sense, like we did Immortality.
Yes.
And Immortality's a full playthrough because it's a thing that I felt like we really hit on, and then it was us texting each other going like, I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for the next one. And I feel like if we're not hitting on that, then I don't really want to do it. Like, if it's not something we want to do.
Absolutely.
I think the big thing that people have with these, like the full playthroughs, is that you see a lot of comments about people going, you got to do full playthroughs. Do a full playthrough of this game. Do a full playthrough of this game. Those comments are, I want to be really clear, not speaking for a majority of the community. Most people do not care and will not watch the full playthroughs where it's a week after week series thing. I'm nervous about putting out all of Immortality right after Face Off because it is another long stretch of game series, and I think it's going to give people an impression of like, this is how they're going to do stuff, and it's not. And but I think at the same time, if we found something that we like, so we're going to do it, and that to me means more than doing like setting out and going like, we got to do this full playthrough. I just really enjoy Immortality. That's all.
So I think like our North Star should always be what is the thing we're enjoying the most, and what way do we want to experience that?
Yeah.
And I think what we could do maybe to like sort of mitigate those is, well, the first thing is there's a concern when you do like a full playthrough of like the views constantly dropping off between each thing. And I probably shouldn't say this, but like respectfully, I don't necessarily care about that. Like my focus is on what we want to make,
right,
and enjoying it to its fullest. So like obviously I want the community to enjoy what we're doing as well. Like that's the goal, but
of course.
It's not the idea of like we're not going to do a thing that we really want to do because it might perform a little bit less than the last thing related to this. Like that's never going to be a reason in my mind, at least.
No, I agree with you.
Thing.
If we want to do it, I think we're going to do it. But I think conversely, because people are asking for things, doesn't mean it's going to influence us into doing
Not
something
in the
we don't want to
slightest.
do. And so I want to be really,
100%.
I just want to be really clear about that. I think that the full
Yes.
playthroughs that we do are going to be the ones that we really feel strongly about, and that's just the way it's probably going to work.
100%. That's a great way to put it. And then the other factor to that for me is also just us maybe communicating.
Yeah.
Of like maybe we initiate one of those things and we do like 5 parts of a video, and then we just are clear of like, you know what, I think we're gonna stop here.
Yeah,
Like, that's maybe something that we could do to mitigate that and maybe set expectation of like, if we're doing multiple parts, we'll be clear with you when we're done, or if we will keep going.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Any plans to expand our release output? That's something we touched on a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah.
Definitely want to start with like Wednesday videos, I think.
Absolutely.
Just so there's something on Monday, something on Friday for everyone. And then I think that Wednesday slot is like, could be an alternating thing. I don't know. We haven't, like, obviously there has to be some kind of like strategy about it. But at the same time, like, I just want to put out more stuff. I think we just have to get on the other side of the holidays to figure all of that stuff out. Because it's a resourcing thing. I can't just ask it. I can't just give an editor more videos and go, hey, can you just do more? It's like, well, their time's already accounted for. It would just be like, you know, people are like, well, we don't want you to be overworked. Like, you hear that from like the audience and everything. It's like, don't burn out and everything. You have to be mindful of like the editors also. You can't just go like, well, yeah, just have them do more. And it's like, well, I'm never gonna ask Tyler Hazard, hey man, just fucking do it. Like, that's not gonna happen. You have to be really mindful.
No,
about
that's
it.
so unfair.
Yeah, exactly. It's very unfair, but we do want to expand. I would love to release more gaming videos.
It's the thing of like, you can always add, but subtracting comes at a cost.
That's
So
a great way to put it. Yeah.
We have to be so mindful in how we do that. And really, for me, like, the whole point of doing any of this is it is a way to do a thing I love with people I truly enjoy and like care about, and are some of my best friends.
Big time. Big time.
So the moment that becomes less fun because of obligations we made because we were overeager, like, that would just suck.
Yeah.
And it's unnecessary. Like, that's an unnecessary mistake to make. So we definitely want to do Wednesday content in the future. But as far as expanding upon that, it would be irresponsible, I think, for us to say that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
Just because it's, as you said, logistically, there's so many hoops, as well as just us figuring out our own rhythm of like, what is the most we can do this while also it not ever feeling like it's a job.
Yeah.
Which I think is sort of the
I
ultimate
think
goal.
that's really important, because if we make Jeff play Grand Theft Auto every day, he's gonna jump out a window.
Dude, it would be such a funny prank, though. What if we just told Jeff one week, this is like, we got to do GTA all week.
We got it
every day.
Honestly, this is a Minecraft week, Jeff. And then I think he would be like, I think I quit. I think this just might be it for me.
We want to get in on the early floors of GTA 6, okay? We need to show allegiance. We're doing GTA every day between now and whenever that thing comes out.
I think he'd cry. I think he would just be so upset. Poor guy.
We're doing this for you, Jeff.
Come on, man. This is for you, buddy.
Didn't you enjoy being a voice in Red Dead 2? We want to do that again for you.
You want more of that? Come on, Jeff. Dude, you lost. What the hell?
Yeah, no, that happens a lot.
Tough. This one's from Bandit. Will you do face cam videos?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And that is not, like, I know there's, like, a perception of my anxieties and preferences with things. That has nothing to do with it. It is more, as we talked about before, it complicates an edit. It's, like, logistically just a bigger challenge. And also, there are just other people in the group that have expressed not wanting to do it. Hey, look, it's Caleb.
Oh,
Love
cool.
Caleb.
That's so funny.
Anyway, yeah, it's just it's like an editing problem, and we want to be able. One of my favorite things about kFACE is we're able to make stuff and make it quick and do the things we want to do, and that allows us the ability to try different things.
Yeah.
And adding face cams just is a whole other layer of work that would hinder that speed.
Yep.
And I just even if there wasn't a thing of like multiple people with that in our group not wanting to do that, just in a general sense, like just the editing side of it, I think would be such a weakness to what we could be producing.
Yeah, I think that I think the face cams is a cool idea for other people. It's just not what we're trying to do or what we're like really into. I think being deft and sort of like, hey, we're all just going to pick up and play this thing, or we're just going to do this thing. If we had to record face cam videos right now, like for what you and I were doing, it would just like, it's just not something that's going to add anything.
No.
And that's fine. I think that's it. When this is from Midnight Face, when the upcoming Wolverine game releases, will you get to see Jeff pop claw? That's a great question.
That is such a good question. I'd love to see Jeff pop claws. I never even considered a world in which we could witness that happening again.
Nuh-uh.
I didn't think about that. That's do you think that Jeff goes into like Wolverine character a little bit when he pops claws? Like, will we see a different side of Jeff?
Do you think
maybe
that
he
like
hasn't even seen?
He'll like put a voice on a little bit? And
So for those that like don't listen to the podcast and only follow Let's Play stuff, we have a podcast called kFACE. And on that podcast, Jeff disclosed somewhat recently that he used to pretend he was Wolverine and imagine that he was popping claws out of his hands like Wolverine does, which is wonderful. And so with the new Wolverine game coming out, he'll get a chance to do it again. He'll get to revisit it. I mean, there are multiple Wolverine games. Maybe we should just get him. We could do this now. I didn't even think about that until this moment. We could get like we need to adjust Jeff's setup because he doesn't have the ability to share gameplay.
No, yeah, that's true. And that would be important. He needs to play it because he has to be Wolverine.
It needs to be him, yeah, because he has to pop claws.
Yeah, I think. What if we did with like a new Wolverine game coming out? What if we did like a week of popping claws? You know,
I love that. That's such a great idea. Claw week.
Yeah.
Oh man. Eric, that's genius. That's so good.
It's just Jeff popping claws all week, dude.
See, now that's the thing that we'll approach Jeff with that he'll love.
Yes.
Like, he is the GTA thing, his hell at this point. If we approach Jeff and are like, hey, do you want to do claw week? We just pop claws for a full week. That honestly might be my wedding gift to Jeff.
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to
so
take
good.
that from you, Eric.
I love it.
I'm giving him that.
Oh, this is so nice. Let's see. This is from Mitchell. Any plans on reviving old Let's Play series?
No. Like, no plans to do so. I mean, there's certain... Gavin had an idea for a thing that I'm excited about that you could probably be like, oh, there's DNA of that in the past. But generally speaking, I think we're just focused on doing new things and trying out stuff. The one exception I might make is I fucking loved Things to Do.
Yeah.
That is the thing I worked on from like 2016 onward. I think that type of video could be a lot of fun, but outside of that, no.
I think that when we talked about Wednesday videos maybe being like a little bit different, like, you know, you get like your regular Let's Play kind of stuff on Monday and Friday. And if you want to subscribe, you can get a facepod.com/first and you can subscribe. That supports us directly. I'm just letting you know. Monday we have a first video, and then Friday it's an everyone video. But like on Wednesday, doing a Things to Do, like just an off the wall kind of like wacky throwback thing like that, I think would be so funny. Well, you got fucking railed right there, dude.
I got destroyed.
you walked in and Emo Dilbert fucking destroyed you.
Oh, again!
Oh, no!
Oh, Corny Nacho 9089. Oh, that's bad.
Let's see. What's the long-term goal for the channel is a question from Kenny.
Oh. I think just have fun. Like, as dumb as, like, there's not a strategic thing of, like, this is gonna be the biggest gaming thing of all time.
Yeah.
This is 10 steps. It's like, I feel like we're making videos for us and a very specific group of people, and hopefully that group gets larger. That'd be awesome if it did, but if it didn't, like, I'm satisfied with just us making stuff that we're really happy that we made.
Yeah.
That's sort of the goal for me.
I agree with you. I think it's just I think the goal is, again, to have fun and not have it feel like a job. And so far, I feel like we've been accomplishing that goal really well. This does not feel like I'm at work right now. This has been...
No, this is so much fun.
Watching you get destroyed by Corny Nachos and Emo Dilbert.
I'm 4-10. This is horrendous. I'm so bad.
That's so funny. This is from Lumpy Wumpus. Great name. How many hours of footage does it take to get 1 hour after editing? That's a really good question.
That is such a good question, and it's something that I don't think is realized. Like, so for Things to Do, it really depends. The answer is it depends on what you're making.
Yes.
So when we do a Let's Play, it's not necessarily all that much time beyond an hour to get an hour. It just depends on what you're doing. Things to do. Jesus Christ. What a, like, nightmare that thing is to make, and that's sort of, I think, ultimately why they stopped being made.
Yeah.
It was so much work. There's one of the last things to do's I worked on is the Sea of Thieves one.
Wow.
Where we were chaining gunshot, like explosive gunpowder barrels, and like just making long explosion lines. There is a shot in that video that it's maybe like 20 seconds of footage, and it was 15 hours of prep just to like line everything up. That video, as far as like the collection of the materials needed and things going wrong and having to do it again, that is probably like a 90-hour video just on the capture side of it for 3 minutes of video.
That's so brutal. I just want
yeah.
I want to point out that it's 47 to 12.
well, okay.
48 to 12.
And in my defense, 343 Hundy and Dazzle are AI. These are AI players.
Okay.
I don't know how the AI player has negative 50 points. That's a bad look for their AI.
It's not good.
But
that's not good.
No, it's
putting the artificial in artificial intelligence. Wow.
Put us out of our misery.
50 to 12. Hey, you mentioned it, but Tristan asked, "Will you play Sea of Thieves?"
I would love to. That's like a thing that Jeff has talked a lot about. He's found a love for that game. Gavin, I think, is into it now. No idea when that will happen, but yeah, that is a thing that we're all really excited about getting into.
And I think that sort of goes into not just the previous question where it's talking about, how much footage do you need to get for an hour, where it's like the thing we're doing right now is going to be however long we're doing this is how long the video is. It's syncing audio and putting stuff out. It's not a big ask, but something like Sea of Thieves, where you're doing 3 or 4 people or whatever, is going to be a lot. And that goes into this next question. NDaily87 says, any plans to make content in games that are more than 1 or 2 players?
100%. And that is a thing that's, what's so funny is when we launched the channel, we did Worms, and then we did Trivial Pursuit, and there's a feeling of like, oh, wow, they're touching on like some of the greatest hits of the past this channel. When that's true, but really in reality, I couldn't capture any gameplay for probably like a month into after we started filming stuff. And so all of the games we picked at that time, for the most part, there's some exceptions, are games in which it's like a single screen perspective. So that way, like, nothing would be missed, and only one of us would need to record video. So it's funny how that worked out the way it did. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on this, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do more 4-player games and everything where we're playing. Like, I would love to play games with, like, everyone in the group. Like, I would love to get...
100%,
I would love to get Nick in and playing games and everything, because he's been there. I want to... I don't know if Gracie plays video games at all.
I've been meaning to ask.
Would love to get in some video games with Gracie. I think would be so funny. I think it would just be so... I think it's just so strange to do, because it really does feel like kFACE has expanded, and Gracie's definitely like a part of like this weird grouping now, and she's doing such a good job as like a producer. So I'd love to get her some time if she wants to like play a game. It would be so much fun.
I just think that that's so important with what we're doing, too. Of like, I want everyone on the Let's Play side to feel creatively empowered. Whether that's an editor or somebody on production. Like, I want all ideas. If I was talking to Sarah about this, and she's big into Nancy Drew. And it turned into this whole discussion of like, oh, how do we make a video on Nancy Drew? And we had a concept that I think is really funny. Will that ever happen? I don't know, but just, like, I want everyone involved to feel like they're part of this.
Right. Knowing there's a concept is like really important, and knowing that like people like we have people that want to play games and do this stuff is like I want all those people involved in doing these things. It's like a lot of fun.
It's like the best part of having a team is like coming to terms with you're all different people, and you're gonna have different ideas and also solutions to problems. So having everyone feel invested, knowing that whatever we're doing is going to be the best version of that, because all hands are like in unison. That's obviously important, is that we're all unified in these efforts. It's just so exciting. Like we will come up with things that maybe independently we would not have come up with because it's just I really want us all to feel just so creatively enabled.
Yeah, I agree. And it's it's a lot of fun when that stuff happens, when everyone's sort of like, when somebody comes up with an idea and it's in like the group text or like on Slack or whatever, and everyone goes, oh, that's so cool. That's the best. I love that. So,
it's so good.
Would love to do more 4-player games and everything. But I like, again, this goes back to the resourcing thing where doing the video that we're doing right now is very easy for an editor, and it's not a huge time commitment or ask, because this is just syncing some audio over Andrew demolishing in Halo. Absolutely number one
doing
stuff.
Great.
That's not hard. But if we were to play something like Sea of Thieves, that's probably 4 screens capturing, and the decision making in the edit takes time. The notes in the edit takes time. Like, it's not like they just edit it one time and then we post it. There are notes. There are ideas. There's asks for cuts. There's additional things that we want added. Like, it's just a resourcing thing where doing 4-player games just gives us less to do other stuff with. And so I think we have to, right now, we have to be mindful about like what those 4-player games are. That's all.
It's also a problem of scheduling.
Oh,
where
God,
people are so busy, like, trying to get everyone together. Like, that's sort of what's nice about what we're doing, and sort of this atmosphere of, like, at your friend's house playing games, the idea being that I want to do something with Eric, so Eric and I can just schedule it, and then if someone else wants to drop in and watch and, like, join in, that's awesome, but there's no pressure to do that.
I agree.
I think a solution for that is... on kFACE, the podcast, we have a monthly, like, supplemental day essentially scheduled out for all of us to do stuff. I think it'd be awesome if we could do that for Let's Play.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
One day a week where, like, everyone can commit, and then we can knock out maybe, like, 2 or 3 of these more, like, 4-player videos.
Well, it's a thing, too, where we have an office space now.
Yes.
We just got that set up. I don't know if that's something we sort of, like, talked about or whatever, but when we started doing Let's Play, one of the things we asked for is like, hey, we would love to have a room that can be our like little home base where Jeff can keep his cards for the break show, and where we can come together and do like some recordings, some video game recordings. We have like a couple of capture setups and everything. So I think doing office days for Let's Play is like so doable and will be like so much fun. We just have to, again, it's a scheduling thing, and it's tough to schedule.
100%. Yep.
Especially the last 2 months and then going into the holidays. Like the last 4 months of this year, like this September, October, November, December, are like, oh, dude, they've been tough. They've been really hard trying to get a lot of things from a lot of people, just with the holidays and other commitments. But hopefully it's doable.
Yeah, I think we are going to find a rhythm in which we're doing more of those.
Yeah. Tilt High Noon says, any chance of a lasso?
That is such a Gavin call. I would be surprised. I don't know if, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but that is a Gavin decision.
To me, I would not want to participate in the lasso because I feel like it would drag. I don't play Halo at all. Like, it is just not my speed. I just never played Halo at all. I love first-person shooters, but Halo is just not a game I've ever, like, been in tune with. And so I wonder if it's a thing where, not necessarily for Lasso, but for other games also, if we bring in some other people that would come in and play with us to kind of, like, fill out slots and make it, like, a doable thing. You know what I mean?
Or, yeah, we could do, I'm just thinking of ideas here. We don't know if Gracie plays games. The idea of, like, you and Gracie and, like, maybe 2 other people that are not, like, gamers, and Gavin has to, like, try to coach you through 1 level. Like, you guys have to, it's trying to just beat a level, not the whole game, just 1 level, and he's the coach.
The
I think would
most
be so funny.
Frustrating gameplay I think you could ever think of is what you just thought. That sounds like I can't even just imagine being a fan of this, and I cannot imagine watching that. Yeah, this is Gavin trying to coach Gracie in Halo Lasso, and it's Gracie just going, okay, what does lasso mean? And it's like, here's it explained. And she goes, okay, cool, what's Halo?
Maybe, though, like, Gracie could be the greatest Halo player out of all
Who
of us.
knows?
We have no idea.
We
have no clue.
Could be.
It's just any time that we could put Gavin as a coach, I feel like that's the least comfortable he would ever be.
Yep.
He does not want to control people.
Yep.
He doesn't want any responsibility as far as others go. Like, that is just out of what he enjoys.
Yep.
I'd love to see that.
This is from the one and only. What happened to the thumbstick challenge, and will it be streamed?
It won't be streamed.
Okay.
I don't think. There's no plan. Well, let me rephrase that. Okay. There are no plans of streaming any part of that.
Right.
What happened to it is it has been adapted into a Fall Guys challenge, and we have filmed like 4 episodes so far, Gavin and I. We're doing it together. It's a wild process of what we filmed so far. We did 3 or 4 videos before Gavin realized that he agreed to do the challenge with me.
Whoa,
and it becomes a whole... It becomes an argument in one of the videos where he's like, what do you mean? I'll have to make thumbsticks. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, the entire pitch of this was you and I doing it together. Like, at what point... We have a whole rules conversation in the first episode of how this will work, and it's so funny to listen to knowing that he has no idea what we're actually doing. And then he had to go through his text to be like, well, what did you say? Like, there's no way. And he realized that, like, I made this pitch, and his response to my pitch was him saying, I can't get this achievement to unlock in Halo.
Oh
like, he just, like, read it and then never talked about it, and we went forward with it. And, but yeah, we did that. But there's also a little bit of an update coming up with that stuff that, we're in the process of. I feel like it would be irresponsible for me to say exactly what's going on, but there is a fun twist that might be coming with that concept.
Interesting. That's cool. I do want to say for streaming, it's not something that we'll probably lean on almost ever. It's just not, again, probably like not our thing. We're definitely playing games and all that stuff, but as far as streaming goes, it's just sort of like, I don't know, whatever. But if you're a first member, we might have some streams coming like monthly. It might not be for Let's Play, but we might start doing some more regular Sloppy Joe's stuff. Maybe we'll do some video game streaming in like the near future and everything. It's not going to be the thing I think we ever like lean on or like rely on. But if we do it, it'll probably be for first. If we ever do, I think video game streaming and everything, it'll be for first members.
100%. That's a great call.
We just want to. The thing about, I want to talk about the first membership stuff a little bit, because I know there are people who are like, oh, I don't want to subscribe. You don't have to. Like, I don't want you to feel like you have to subscribe to get this full thing or whatever. Face is always going to be Face, and it's going to be free, and that's just that's the show and everything. This other stuff, like the Let's Play stuff and everything, that's why we have a free video that goes out every week. That's why we're trying to do more on Wednesdays. We're just trying to, like, do more, and if we do anything for first, it's not like, dude, you gotta do this or you're fucked. Now you're so behind. Yeah. It's more like, hey, this is an additional thing. If you want to support the show and you get this other stuff, like I can't get enough of the thing they're doing, I want more of this thing. That's where we're gonna be doing more of this thing. Is just on first. If you go to facepod.com/first, you can sign up, and again, to be really direct, that's how you support us directly. That money goes to us. That goes to our budget. That's how we continue to make this stuff and do the things that we want to do, is just through that stuff. And again, Face is going to be Face. It's going to continue to do the stuff that it's going to do, but we're looking at, like, hey, if we want to do more, this is how we do more. That's all. That's all that is.
Yeah, and it's not... I think it's like an important clarification of it's never a mindset of like, oh, we got to put things behind the paywall to make as much money as possible. But like, we also want to do things that show respect, or just like appreciation is a better word.
Yeah.
For the people that are behind that paywall, that have like given us the ability to make so much of the stuff that we have made.
Yeah. And I think with First and being able to support us directly or whatever, that's how we're able to do something like Face Off.
Yes.
Which is a great, like a really fun show to make, and it was a first show because, I mean, it was going to be a first show regardless, and then this Let's Play thing kind of happened at like the same time, and it was like, oh fuck, what a great little, hey, congratulations, you won. What a great little like kind of coincidence that we have something like that. Let's get to, let's see, maybe one or two.
How many more do we have left?
There's a couple. I figure we wrap up here and we can see what's up. Here
sounds good.
Here's a short one that'll be easy, and then we'll get to one more. Adam says, when are the Warzone videos dropping?
Oh, what I will say is no idea on when they will. They might be out by the time you hear this.
Yeah.
there are more videos than maybe you anticipate. I think we already have 2 or 3 of those in the can. They just haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
But they'll be up.
Let's do this one last and we can wrap up. This is Brandon White.
Okay.
Would you consider doing a Smash Ultimate Face-Off?
Oh, is there a character creator in Smash? I don't think there is.
There
is
is, but it's sort of like it's limited. Like you can make like have you not seen people like make like Garfield and stuff?
No.
What?
Yeah, that's just not like I'm not a Smash guy,
Oh.
so that is just like a blind spot for me.
Well, the thing with this is like you can do it and you can create the characters, but I don't think it's like you can use like your Miis and stuff and like and then you dress them up in like different costumes and they have like it's that kind of a thing. So you can definitely do that and then we can set them all to fight. I just don't like no plans on doing that game. Honestly, it hadn't occurred to me to do that game. It like you can definitely set it to like CPU fighting each other, but it's just like not really. It's a game I'd rather play than watch, I guess. And I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't feel face-off to me, but I could see us doing some sim stuff in it.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Maybe not that.
I think that would be fun.
We do it every year for my fantasy football league. We determine child picking order because it's a very complex process, and I guess I should probably provide more context. We ultimately we pick the kids in the spelling bee every year. And the sequence in which they're eliminated is where you get to decide where you pick. But we do a pre-thing to decide what sequence in which kids get to, or we get to pick our kids.
Right.
And we do that by doing Smash Sims of like 99 Yoshis, and everyone picks a color.
Oh, that's
and
really
then whoever,
funny.
like the sequence in which whatever they're eliminated is then the picking sequence that you have, and we do like tournaments and stuff. So there's plenty to do as far as like fun Sims go. I just don't see that as a face-off game.
No.
But with that being said, please suggest like if you have ideas for that type of thing, I'd love to hear them. Like that is a great thing to comment because we want to make more of that show, and we have ideas for more. But it's just always great to hear new suggestions.
It's when you go to like the last episode of Face Off. A lot. There are like so many suggestions in the thread and everything, and I think it's great. I think it's so like people are just like, yeah, what about this? What about that? What about this? And it's like, yeah, dude, hell yeah. Like I think a lot of these are really, really good ideas. And we just have to kind of weed through and be like, oh, not this, but that, and what if we do this instead, and like that kind of thing. I think we have an idea about where we want to go with it, like what games we can do, but like. Man, I had so much fun with Super Mega Baseball or whatever.
It was good.
I didn't think it was going to be that great, and it fucking ruled. It ruled. It
was so much fun.
Yep. I couldn't believe how much fun I had with that being a baseball game that I just didn't think anyone was going to be like crazy about. Loved it. I loved it. So I'm excited to do more. I will say it's going to remain a first show unless we get like a sponsor who is benevolent enough to come through and they're like, we want to buy the whole season. Like we want to buy the whole season to put it out. I think that's the only way that we probably put it out. So, but again, you sign up for first and you can check out everything that we have under the kind of like the first banner.
Yes.
And, you watch it in a couple of days and it's a lot of fun. I like subscribing for a year. Hell yeah. That helps us so much. Subscribing for a month also helps us. Listening to the podcast also helps us. Like anything you do to interact and participate with Face is positive and good and is helping us. That's want to be really clear about that.
Regardless of whatever way you do support, thank you so much for doing that. Like this is genuinely doing the Face stuff and the Let's Play stuff. Like it is maybe the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Me
Definitely
too.
In terms of making content. I'm so thankful that we get to do this and I get to spend time with you guys in the way that we do. And that is just through the support of our community. And I just want to say thank you for that.
I've been doing this my entire adult life. I've been working in media and podcast and video game and et cetera, et cetera. Like my entire adult life, I've been doing this. And this is probably the most fun that I've had doing stuff like this by a mile. It is such a blast, and I look forward to recording with you guys and watching these games and doing this stuff every week. It's never like, oh, what an obligation. It's always just like, oh, fuck, I can't wait to see what this is going to be. I cannot wait to see what this is going to be. I love it. I love it. It's so much fun.
Oh, it's so good. Well, this has been great, Eric.
Yeah, this was great. This ended up being, hey, this was about, 45 minutes. So, like, really, we hit, like, a pretty good
We covered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to do this again. Maybe, once again, like, we need to talk to people, obviously. We're not just going to throw someone in videos, but I think it'd be fun to do this with, like, an editor, and if people have specific editing questions, like, there's a lot of ways we could take this, but it's nice to be able to do a check-in and, like, get a read of maybe how the community is doing and just answer whatever questions you may have as far as the channel goes.
Yeah, big time. Follow kFACE, the podcast. Go listen to it. If you only check out the Let's Play stuff, that's cool too, but you should definitely check out the podcast. I think it's personally, I think it's crazy that if you listen, like if you watch these videos and you don't listen to the podcast, it's wild. But like, it's up to you.
Live your life.
Yeah. It's so great to be able to do this stuff. And if you want to support us, facepod.com/first is how you can do that directly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for joining me in this.
That was fun. Congratulations on winning some games of Halo.
Dude,
and
I
then
won a
getting
game.
Blown out of some games of Halo.
I won like 2 games. It's amazing. What a day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.